All right, season 4, episode 22, Elegy. We've got Bowling Alley Ghosts. And Mulder is good at bowling.
He is, yeah, and Scully's kind of surprised by that. She's like,
I kind of like you more now, but I shouldn't, because she probably thinks nothing of bowling. Scully comes off to me a little bit like highfalutin, like bowling is like a poor man's sport, like a hillbilly activity, and she's like, bowling.
I don't know.
No, I'm
I like
kidding.
the way that
She's just, I don't know. She comes off as like, she's very regal and above it.
she's more refined.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
But maybe not. She also has
I don't
other
know. I
moments
never
where
thought
don't
of
feel
bowling
like
as being not refined.
Oh, 100%. What are you talking about?
I just have never thought of it like that, probably because...
It's like a beer belly sport for like yokels.
I don't know.
I'm not saying it in a bad context. I enjoy bowling.
But they have like professional bowling and...
Have you ever seen a professional bowler?
No. But I know that
if you
they
haven't,
exist.
check them out.
Anyway, I like the way that this ghost looks though, in the bowling alley when the owner like goes and sees the blood dripping and he like looks up and she's like kind of like moving her mouth and
Yeah.
it's creepy actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is creepy. So, yeah. All right. We got Sidney Lassick in here from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He is one of the patients in the mental institution. I guess that's kind of what he gets cast in. As well as the nurse from Exorcist 3, who ends up being, spoilers, the killer. Scully sees the ghost in this, and she doesn't want to talk about it because she thinks it's like... And it's because she's close to death.
Yeah, Mulder makes a comment about it being like, oh, people that are like, you know, in this state or whatever can witness them. Which it's, you know, that's cool because like the owner seeing the ghost, he also dies in this episode with a heart attack. Yeah, I mean, I definitely kind of feel like that. I think that when people are like really close to death, like you get a lot of people who are... You know, stories from people who are on their deathbed, who see loved ones visit them, or, you know, whatever apparitions. And I do think that's an interesting phenomenon. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what I believe about any of that stuff. You know I don't. But I'm very Scully. You're very Mulder in that way. Maybe, though. Why not? I like the idea of it. So let's hope. Another nosebleed in this for Scully. This is while she's still dying. She's cured by the end of, or like a couple episodes into season 3. I think it's episode 3 that she finally gets fully cured. Which I'm good. I'm done with it. Like after a full season of it, it's like I don't want to watch Scully die anymore.
No.
But like she really has to face her own beliefs in this season.
Definitely.
And, you know, in this episode is one of those episodes where you really see how much she's clung on to her, you know, God science.
Yes. Yeah,
Which
definitely.
is funny because she's obviously, we've talked about this plenty of times, she's also, like, religious.
Yeah, she's a very interesting mix of things.
And our little savant here has remembered all of the scores, very Rain Man-esque, of all of the bowling people.
Yeah, he's autistic and is able to, he memorizes, like, everybody's score. Which is, you know, like, how he's, like, it's cool that Mulder is able to, like, make that connection because, like, everybody else just thinks he's, like, saying random numbers.
Yeah.
We had another episode, like, in season 1 with another autistic character that was...
Roland.
Yeah, Roland. So it's funny to me, like, this is kind of that, the stereotype, the autistic stereotype of, like, they love numbers. Like, autistic people can remember things. Some do. I'm not saying that's not a thing, but it is one of the stereotypes that makes it hard for other people to get diagnosed because it was like, oh, if you're not like a white boy that's like super into numbers, and like remembers every date or whatever for some specific thing, then you're probably not autistic, and that's just not accurate, which we know now. But anyway, this obviously in this episode leads Mulder to kind of really Scully, I guess. It leads them along the right path, and then Scully finds who the killer is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only a human being.
I'm just a human being. I love that. I feel that too. Yes. I'm just a human being.
Well, with you, I'm just a little guy.
I'm just a little guy. I am just a little guy. I really am.
So Sidney Lassek's character likes to say stuff like, I'm only a human being, over and over again. Harold, who's our main guy here, he dies. They all kind of die, basically. Scully really is faced with, like, what she believes. And she, once again, like, she does at least. The good thing about this episode, this is one of the rare times where she actually tells Mulder.
Eventually.
Like, what she saw.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm afraid to believe what you believe. But she does come clean.
Sure. I mean, it makes sense for her to not tell him right away. Because it's pretty shocking. It's actually also really scary when she's in the bathroom and, like, turns and just sees this, like, gray woman that's, like, silently mouthing.
Right, because they see their ghosts, like, right after they've died.
Literally right after. And
Scully gets called in on something, and it matches the ghost.
So she's able to confirm it. Yeah, because like you had said, she probably is trying to rationalize it in the moment, like, okay, I have cancer, like maybe I'm hallucinating.
But then when there's no way to rationalize this.
At that point, I'm glad she does tell Mulder at the end, and they kind of have a fight, like it's not an easy conversation, really. And
it's almost offensive to him. It's like,
sure.
Well, it's kind of lame to be like you.
But it's also offensive to her too, because she's like, I'm like literally dying. And this is, like, freaking me out because, it's just showing me how much closer to death I am than maybe I realized. It's a good scene, though. I think that I think the show does some great stuff with the characters as far as, like, their relationships and everything. And showing, like, the drama. We have a lot of fun episodes where it's just kind of silly and goofy, but then there's really good stuff like woven in for them to grow and have like a character arc together.
Yep. All right, well, that's that, and we'll see you in the next one.